Hey guys, Isaac here. What do we have to say today? We're going to be talking about a new song from a band that I've been wanting music from, or more music from, since 2009, so it's been about 4 years now since their last release. And I had mixed expectations about this album, and based on the stuff that came out in their last album, I wasn't sure whether this was going to be good or not. The band is Skillet. Their new song, Sick of It, was released yesterday, and this new album they're coming out with is called Rise, and it's going to be released in 2013. Yeah, you don't say, Isaac. In May of this year. um, Now, I remind you that this is my most favorite band of all time, and if there are any other metalheads watching this video, I mean more so than this band, and this is my favorite album of all time. I also have those. Then I have these two CDs, and I have the rest in digital format. Now, when I say this is my most favorite band of all time, I mean I like, and this being my favorite album, I like this album more than this album, more than this album, more than this album, and more than this album. Those are 4 albums that you're probably going to disagree and say, hey, those albums are way better. But I don't know. I guess that's more of a subjective factor, but anyway. When this release, Awake, came out in 2009, a lot of people had mixed feelings. Comatose kind of set the grounds for them to get a blast of popularity, and then Monster, the song which they're famous for, seemed to just skyrocket on the charts, and it's a potentially very overrated song because it's definitely not the best on the album because, you know, there are a few cliches and stuff like that in the song, and there's not a lot that they do in the song which is extremely special. You know, I mean, not saying it's a bad song because it's pretty catchy and it's got a nice main riff, but it's definitely not the best. Now, when Awake came out, you know, I didn't really expect it to be the way it was because, you know, I mean, Skillet had changed a lot from Clyde to Comatose, but when Awake came out, there were more cliches on Awake than I expected there to be. There were more generic little riffs and things here and there that took away from the overall quality of Awake. Now, Awake is a very good album, for sure. But, I mean, the couple cliche songs, and then the pointless power ballads and filler, I mean, Skillet rarely had filler. Before this album, they maybe had 1 or 2 songs that were filler on Comatose, but there's substantially more filler on this album, or on Awake. And since they were kind of drifting into the realm of mediocrity with Awake, it seems like once Comatose gave them their boost, they went to the path that many bands seem to do, and they're just like, hey, we have all the fans, we really don't have to work hard anymore. But I mean, not so much with Awake, like maybe a little bit, but you could tell that they, you know, they wanted to do what they were doing on Awake, and they put all their effort into it. And a lot of people were complaining, you know, that Awake, you know, they wanted it to be like their previous albums, and people were complaining because it was not. Now, with the new song Sick of It, Skillet seems to have dumbed down the style a little bit more, because I know there are a lot of people digging this song, but really, what's so special about the main riff? Da 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 da. There's not really a lot that's special about the main riff, but aside from that, what's actually going on in the new song Sick of It? To me, the way it sounds to me is that since people wanted their old style back, they, you know, they were drifting away from their old style and to Awake, which is where Awake sounded the way that they wanted it to. And with all of the older fans complaining, about, not being like their older stuff, they made something that they try to impress both their new fans and their old fans. But, adding the techno elements, there we go, and some of the heavier stuff from Collide as well as from Awake. So you have like 4 albums combined. But ultimately, in doing this, you can tell they really didn't want to bring their old style back. They just kind of did it half-hearted, and just slapped down some notes to try to please their fans on this one, on Sick of It. Rather than putting their full heart into the music, they were just like, hey, we've got the fans, we don't have to worry about anything, but we'll try to please all our fans at the same time. We'll just, kind of put this in, and then we'll be done for the day, and, we can move on. Do you guys see what I'm saying there? They didn't want to return to their old style, but they were half-heartedly doing it on this new song, just because their fans wanted it, and because they were not doing it with their heart, and because they wanted it to, it didn't really turn out the greatest. There's some interesting parts in the song, yeah. But the overall riff, is kind of generic, I'll give that to you. Jen Ledger does some interesting drumming on this song, but I'm not really sure what happened with this song. The way I look at it, it could go either way, because it sounds good. It sounds pretty good, yeah, but when you think about the details down below, they just kind of, it sounds like they just were trying to please old fans and new fans at the same time. They didn't want to return to their old style, so they just slapped down some notes and said, we'll please old fans too. And I really don't feel like that's what they should be doing. They should be doing what they want to do. If they want to further the sound of Awake and not return to their old stuff, that's what they should do. Based on the lyrical content of the song, let's get into a little bit more detail about, I've addressed the criticism and I think the things that are negative. Now, let's take a look at some of the other things about this song. This song is extremely dark compared to their old stuff. Even Monster and even a lot of stuff on Collide, it is very, very dark. And if you've seen the cover art for the Sick of It single and then Rise itself, you can tell that that's extremely dark. Even more so than Monster. Monster is kind of about being a sinful person, and the evil's just beneath the skin, as he says in the song. But this one just kind of paints a picture of hopelessness, which is not something that they're generally known to do since they're a Christian band. But it seems to kind of allude to like a lot of the youth struggles that exist nowadays, and since they know that they appeal to a lot of youth, they tend to kind of address those issues. As heard in the song Looking for Angels, look up those lyrics because there seems to be a lot of youth stuff dealt with in that song. But anyway, I'm not extremely disappointed with Sick of It, but I am disappointed with the fact that Skillet is not doing everything they want to do. In total, I do like the song, because like I said, it sounds good, but there are still some negative points. Heck, I like some of Lil Wayne's music. That should tell you how little my brain tends to care about the quality of music sometimes. But that's, just kind of my take on things. This is not me bashing Skillet, because John Cooper and the rest of them have made such a Christly, godly impact on my life. Their music has been a great influence. Plus, I got 5 feet away from John Cooper once and looked him in the eyes, and it was the most glorious moment of my life. One day I'm going to meet them, all of them, and I'm going to give them all a very large hug. Wait, what? Never mind. Anyway, that's been my review. I will definitely pre-order the album and give you guys my full review of it. My guess is that the album, may be in the vein of the song, and since they said they were going to do a lot of new stuff and different stuff with this album, I think that the rest of the album will be different from the song. Maybe there'll be some songs that are like it, but there's going to be some more variation on the song aside from this. Maybe this song wasn't the best preview for the whole thing. I don't know. But, you know, keep it metal, everyone. I really don't know anymore. Just keep it metal, okay? And have a good day.